Yes. Now, while speaking, we normally converse in ordinary way, but it is the departure. There is something special. In order to produce, what is the need? In order to produce a greater effect, according to P.C. Wren, the noted grammarian of English language. So, now let us again know about the figures of speech. These are the following. Now, as you all know, in parts of speech we have noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, verb, conjunction, preposition, interjection. Similarly, here the figures of speech are simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe, hyperbole, oxymoron, onomatopoeia. And now we will discuss in detail. To begin with, simile. In Hindi we say upama. In a simile, a comparison is made between two objects of different kinds. Now, note here, two objects of different kinds, which have, however, at least one point in common. The simile is usually introduced by such words as like, as, so. Now there are examples given. She is as fresh as dew. The poet is comparing a woman, a lady, as she is as fresh as a dew. Then you know, the poetry is there in Merchant of Venice, mercy, the statement by Portia. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. Here the comparison is done. Droppeth. The rain is gentle. So mercy is compared here, like it also, mercy also drops like gentle rain from heaven. My love is like a red rose. Here we have used like. Is comparing his love with red rose. In a poem by Sarojini Naidu, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. Then again, like. The palanquin bearers, they are saying that they are carrying a maid or a new woman who is going to be married or who has recently married. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Comparison with pearl on a string. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. Here also the poetess says that she sways like a flower, comparing women or a bride with flower. How far the little candle throws its beam. How far the little candle throws its beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world. This is a bit difficult. So how far how far the little candle throws, the power of the candle, how far the little candle throws its beams. Beams means light. So shines a good deed. Good deed has been compared with the little candle here. So shines a good deed in a naughty world. So this is all about simile. Now the next figures of speech we will discuss is metaphor, and it is known as rupak in Hindi. Both are actually comparison, but there is a difference. We say metaphor is a condensed simile, or as the definition states, metaphor is an implied simile by which two unlike objects are identified with or substituted for each other. In metaphor, unlike the simile, there is difference. The words expressing comparison such as like, as, etc. are not used. So pay attention. We are not going to use like, as or so. But there is comparison. So metaphor is an implied simile. The camel here is compared with the ship. Ship means jahaj. Camel is the ship of the desert. Camel is considered, or it is compared with the ship of the desert. Now this is a very famous poem. Whose armor is his honest thought? The character of A Happy Life by Sir Henry Wotton. Whose armor? Armor means shield. Is his honest thought? A happy person or a successful person or an ideal person. His armor is his honest thought. The soldier was a lion in the battlefield. The soldier has been compared with a lion in the battlefield. Now pay attention. We can just, for illustration, we can see he fought bravely, and now I will say that like a, first of all, he fought bravely. Now in this statement there is no figures of speech. It's a simple sentence, just simple statement. He fought bravely. He fought like a lion. This is simile. We have used like. But in this sentence, the soldier was a lion in the battlefield, or he was like a lion in the battlefield. So this is metaphor. Then the next statement, life is but a walking shadow. Here life has been compared with walking shadow. The next statement, whose conscience is his strong retreat. This one is also, I have taken from the famous poem Character of a Happy Life by Sir Henry Wotton. Here the poet is comparing the conscience of the person, ideal person, with the is his strong retreat. The ideal person or happy person never seeks shelter here and there. His own conscience is his strong retreat. So these are the examples of metaphor. Now in normally we also use this figure of speech while addressing a bright student. I just say, or teachers usually say, he is a bright student, he is a bright star. First of all I said, he is a bright student. Now this is not. Next time I said, he is bright, he is a shining star. Here the boy is definitely not a star, but it is compared, he is a shining star. So these are metaphors. Now our next figures of speech is personification. In Hindi we say Manavikaran. What we do actually? In this figure of speech, human qualities are attributed to non-living objects and, pay attention, non-living objects and abstract ideas. Poets very often choose to treat dead, inanimate things and abstract ideas as if they were living beings with flesh and blood. This form of speech is called personification. So we are attributing, the qualities are attributed to non-living or abstract ideas, non-living objects and abstract ideas. So see the examples. Opportunity knocks at the door but once. Here opportunity has been personified. Opportunity has been personified here. Opportunity knocks at the door but once. That murmur soon replies, as if the murmur, the flow of the river, it soon replies. Here murmur has been personified. Now how can a murmur reply? But it has been personified here. The poet can effectively produce the statements. Anxiety is sitting on her face. Now a depressed person. Have you ever seen the face of depressed person? You will see that anxiety is very prominent. And how can anxiety sit? It is an abstract idea. It is not a living thing, living object. But it is said here to be sitting on her face. Now this is a famous statement. Experience is the best teacher. We all know that experience is the best teacher, but that teacher is not in physical form. Experience cannot be in flesh and blood. Now this statement is a bit difficult. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn like a child that has cried all night. It's a difficult portion of the poem. Wind has been attributed the quality of being asleep. Where? In the arms of the dawn, sunrise. Like a child that has cried all night. Now the comparison has been done here with a child that has cried all night. So this is all about personification. We say the lightning shone across the sky. The lightning shone across the sky, or the lightning danced across the sky. Now how can the lightning dance? Lightning is not something with flesh and blood. It's not a living object. It is a non-living object, but it can bring disaster. That is different issue. Now the poet can say lightning danced across the sky. This is a personification. After heavy rain or during winter when the sun rises, we say the sun smiled at us. We become happy and say the sun smiled at us. Can the sun really smile? No, never. But we feel that the sun smiles at us. So this is all about personification. Now our next figures of speech that we are going to discuss is apostrophe. Just a little different from personification. Now in Hindi we say sambodhan. Apostrophe is a figure of speech in which the speaker address some non-living. Here also they are in personification, non-living object or abstract ideas are made like living, but here we are addressing. Then address is being made to some non-living object or some abstract idea or some absent or dead person. Dead we can also address to dead person. In the poem "O Captain, My Captain," the President of United States of America, he was shot dead, and then the poet addresses to the dead person, "O Captain, my Captain." He feels his pulse. So address some non-living object or some abstract idea or some absent, that is missing, or dead person, as if he were present or alive. Now how can a dead person listen? There is no pulse, no life, lifeless object, but the poet uses these figures of speech to address. Now this is a very famous statement from Julius Caesar. Pay attention. "O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet." The poet is saying, "O Julius Caesar." Julius Caesar died, but as Shakespeare or the readers believe that the ghost of Julius Caesar, the spirit of Julius Caesar was active all through the play. So the address is being made to the dead person. "O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet." Even after his death, even after his murder, cold-blooded murder, he was actively present throughout the drama. "O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet." His power, considering him powerful. "My country," now address is being made to the country. "My country in the days of glory past," has been compared with the addressing with the past history of the glorious past of our country. So he is addressing my country. "O death," now he is directly addressing the death. "O death, come soon." This is just lament. The poet is dejected, that he is so much dejected that he addresses death. "O death, come soon," that he no more wishes to live. "O solitude, O solitude, O solitude, where are thy charms that sages have seen in thy face?" "O solitude, ekant, where are thy charms?" There is charm in solitude. The sage always seeks solitude, the sage and seer. So here the poet is addressing, "O solitude." Solitude is an abstract idea, ekant. "Where are thy charms that sages have seen in thy face?" Now here the personification is also there. "Seen in thy face," the face of solitude, but it is addressed to solitude. hence apostrophe. Oh liberty, liberty, freedom. Why are you so dear? And liberty is definitely the most precious thing we can have. So the poet is addressing to liberty. Oh liberty, why are you so dear? Now the next is oxymoron. Oxymoron is virodhabhas, we say. In Hindi we say virodhabhas. In oxymoron, there is a bringing together of two words or phrases having apparently contradictory meanings. Now if I say big baby, there is contradiction. How can a baby be a big? But to just give my thoughts, this is not a statement, this is just phrase, you use in phrase, big baby, or we can say same difference. Same difference. Now both are contradictory words. So how can same and different be? So now we go through the examples. The first one is, he is regularly irregular. I am saying regularly, then again saying irregular. Means that to whomsoever it is being addressed, we are saying that he is regularly, generally. Regularly here implies generally, irregular. But both the words regularly and irregular, they are contradictory, virodhabhas. Having nothing, he hath all. This is again one of my favorite poem, and I have taken the lines, the last line, having nothing, he hath all. The happy person, he may have nothing, no possession, he may have no possession at all, material possession, no riches at all, but a happy person or an ideal person always have inner peace. So a person who has inner peace, he has everything. So here the poet says, having nothing. Now the contradictory statement are there. Nothing and all. Nothing means he has no possession, and again he is saying he has everything. So our sweet songs are those that tell of saddest thoughts. Again there is a contradiction is being made here. Sweet, I am saying sweet and then saying saddest. Sweet songs generally brings happy thoughts, but here the poet is saying our sweet songs are those that tell of saddest thoughts. His honor rooted in dishonor. Now here the two contradictory words are honor and dishonor. Stood and faith unfaithful. Faith and unfaithful, both are opposite sense. Kept him falsely true. Then it is an open secret. This is very common example. A secret, how a secret can be open? But we generally say this statement, it is an open secret. The secret is, that means the secret is does not remain a secret. It is open to all. Life is bittersweet. We are the two contradictory words, one after another, bitter as well as sweet. So this is all about oxymoron. A phrase we use, a deafening silence. We said deafening also, and then again say silence. So wherever the two words or phrases having apparently contradictory meanings, it is known as oxymoron. The next one is hyperbole, not hyperbole, hyperbole. We pronounce as hyperbole. Hyperbole, see the first hype. Hype means something excess. Why are you so hyper? So hyperbole represent things as greater or less or worse than they really are. In reality, it is a bold statement. It is a bold statement involving some kind of exaggeration. So hyperbole, there is always, in Hindi we say atishokti. See the examples. Belinda smiled and all world was gay. Belinda smiled and the entire world became gay, happy. Rivers of blood flowed in the brattle. Rivers of blood, it is L. Rivers of blood. How can rivers of blood flow? But for exaggeration, it is just an exaggeration, the poet uses this term. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. The hand. After the murder in Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they are discussing, they are saying of the king, the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten. Now hands, when you wash your hand, or whatever is there, blood or whatever is there, the stains are removed. But here, it is the sign of exaggeration is there. All the perfumes of Arabia. They built the nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky. How can build the pillar so deep that it can be lifted to sky? It is not possible, but the poet generally uses these statements. They put it in their stanzas. I have not seen him for ages. For ages means for many years. A man cannot live for ages. And here the poet is saying, I have not seen him for ages. Then she wept oceans of tears. Tears, we know, when we are sad or we are over anxious, we shed tears. But how can it make ocean? So these are exaggerations. Now the last is onomatopoeia. In Hindi we say dhvani vardak, dhvani suchak. Now there are various natures of sounds, sounds of birds, sounds of machines, sounds of animals. Now when they are put as, just like the sounds are put as it is, saying in this figure of speech, the sound of the words echoes the sense. The sense is made clear through the sound. It is made visible, it is made known to us through the sound itself. And murmuring of innumerable bees. The sound here, murmuring, it is onomatopoeia. And the urgent drumbeat of destiny calls. Destiny calls has been compared with the urgent drumbeat. I chatter. Chatter, it is very easy. Chatter as I flow to join the brimming river. Now my talk or my conversation, whatever I chatter, has been compared with the flow of the brimming river. The river which is overflowing. I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. The lake water lapping, the sounds of water has been made clear here. Grunt, grunt, exact the sound of the animal. Grunt, grunt goes the hog or pig. They generally makes this sound. So the poet is comparing or putting the figure of speech onomatopoeia. So here ends the figures of speech, and I hope you all will study the content, the figures of speech in your textbook, and do attempt more examples. Write the definition in a notebook and attempt more examples. Thank you.